and welcome to Season 3, Episode 20 of Pro Wrestling's Top 50. I'm your host, Travis McNeil, looking a little bit different today, and today we will continue our countdown of the top 50 matches in ECW history with match number 31 on our list, which is the match between Rob Van Dam and Sabu from ECW Hardcore Heaven 1996, held on June 22nd, 1996. These guys had quite the feud through the early part of 96. So I've talked a little bit before about Sabu and how I had this kind of Sabu obsession without really getting a chance to see him outside of, ECW or WCW television in late 95. Rob Van Dam was kind of a similar story because I was actually a fan of Van Dam when he had a very brief run in WCW as Robbie V. He competed in the television title tournament. And I thought he was super cool. I liked his whole kind of deal. I liked his kicks. I liked his, split legs and things like that. So I thought Robbie V was really cool. Left WCW, kind of dropped off the radar. But I saw him turn up in ECW in 96 through magazines. And the Van Dam and Sabu feud was something that got quite a bit of coverage in magazines, specifically the stretcher match at the Doctor Is In August of 96. That would be the blow-off to this feud. So Van Dam made his debut very early on in 96, came in, impressed the crowd. The Sabu connection was there. It was talked about that these two trained together under the original Sheik, who was Sabu's uncle. So it made natural sense that these two would face off. They faced off at Hostile City Showdown in 96. They had a really great match that was won by Sabu. After the match, Sabu extended his hand to Rob Van Dam, and Rob Van Dam walked out on the handshake. So these two guys that had come up, through the Michigan scene together, you would expect that they would have that, friendship and things along that nature. But, Van Dam threw that all the way and basically showed that he was disappointed himself in losing, thought that he was better than Sabu and should have won. That took us to the next month, which was the Matter of Respect show, where these two would face off in a respect match. And basically the story there would be that the loser of the match would have to say that they respect the winner. Van Dam came out on top, and that match started a story that would kind of run through the rest of this feud, where he would hit two Fisherman's Busters off the top rope on Sabu, and that would injure the neck of Sabu. Sabu actually got carted away on a stretcher at the end of that match, but being Sabu, he returned back into the ring. He wouldn't accept that stretcher job, extended his hand to Van Dam once again, as was the stipulation of the match. Rob Van Dam once again refused the handshake, basically told Sabu that he didn't respect him. Then in an interesting finish, Rob Van Dam left with Bill Alfonso and Taz. And the story here, we had this ongoing Sabu and Taz rivalry. These guys were partners. Taz felt slighted that Sabu, left him when they were going to the three-way dance in 1995. Sabu returned at the November to Remember 95 pay-per-view. That was the same pay-per-view where Taz would turn heel and side him, with Bill Alfonso, and it would start this rivalry where these guys, really wouldn't interact and touch in the ring for about a year and a half, leading to, even though it didn't go on last, the main event, we'll say, of Barely Legal, ECW's first pay-per-view in 97. So Taz and Sabu were very close as partners. So the story here was that Taz and Alfonso tipped off to Rob Van Dam that Sabu had a bad neck, and Rob Van Dam exploited that with those two Fisherman's Busters off the top. This led us to the match at Hardcore Heaven, which is, I really like this feud. I like all of the matches in it, but I feel like this one at Hardcore Heaven is the best of the bunch, and it's the only one that gets included on this list because I do feel that it is significantly better than the others. If I had to rank them, I would go Hardcore Heaven, Hostile City Showdown, The Doctor Is In, and A Matter of Respect. That's my order for them. This one was really interesting, though, because at Hardcore Heaven 96, there was an incident where the ring broke. So this match, which was supposed to main event the show, ended up getting delayed over an hour. So it was past midnight that it actually went on. The ECW arena crowd, it was a really hot night. They were restless. This was the night of the famous, the night Kimono Wanalea danced atop the ECW arena, right? When she was kind of trotted out there to do her striptease, while the ring was being fixed. So we get our main event here. God bless the ECW arena crowd because they are hot for it. But what happens is a minute into the match, the ropes break once again. what do when you have these two amazing high-flying daredevils in a match with no ropes? You would think that the match would be significantly different and they would change up their style. Not Van Dam and Sabu. They do all of their normal moves on broken ropes, and somehow everything goes off without a hitch. And that's the amazing thing about this match. Sabu, an absolute legend, but how many times have we seen where he tries something that doesn't work out quite right? Not in this match. You would think, again, with the broken ropes, the built-in excuse there for botches, now everything is perfect and hit so cleanly, and they do a lot of really innovative, wild spots here. Sabu hits the triple jump moonsault minutes in off the broken ropes. They go back to the story of the Fisherman's Buster. Van Dam tries it through a table. Sabu blocks that, and he hits a crazy dive where he crotches Van Dam on the guardrail and hits a suicide dive, taking Van Dam off the guardrail into the crowd. It was nuts. We get a big brawl through the crowd, which these guys really didn't do in their feud, aside from this match. We get more just crazy moves off the broken ropes, and we get the first real appearance of the Van Daminator. So, I've talked about Rob Van Dam's early matches where, he would use the 5-star frog splash, but it wouldn't be the finish. And same deal here. He hits the Van Daminator. It's a cool spot that would eventually become, his be-all and end-all. Sabu, again, just crazy things. He hits Air Sabu on the floor, running off a table into the guardrail. He goes for his triple jump DDT through the table on the floor. Van Dam rolls off of there, and like mid-move, Sabu turns it into a triple jump plancha into the crowd, which was crazy, and then ends up hitting the DDT, which is just a absolutely sick move. So if you don't know what Sabu's triple jump stuff is, basically he jumps 3 times. So he runs, he jumps, springboards off the chair for the second jump, and then springboards off the ropes for whatever he's going to do for the third jump. So he would do this into a DDT through a table that would be wedged, between the ring apron and the guardrail. It was absolutely nasty. So we get that. Back in the ring, we get just, again, crazy stuff. So Sabu goes for the triple jump moonsault again and actually crotches himself on the top rope. Intentionally, right? It wasn't a botch. It was what they were going for with the broken rope story. Van Dam hits a nasty brainbuster where he basically takes a steel chair and lies it over the corner of the guardrail on the floor and just drops Sabu on his head on it. It was insane. Back in the ring, again, we go back to the Fisherman's Buster. Van Dam tries one off the top. It's blocked. Sabu hits like a diving DDT off the top. Van Dam ends up getting the Super Fisherman's Buster. So remember, he hit 2 at a matter of respect. So the first one here only gets a 2 count. He goes for another Fisherman's Buster. Sabu counters it into one of his own and hits the Atomic Arabian Face Buster, which is basically like a somersault leg drop with a chair underneath his legs off the top onto Van Dam for the 3 count to win. This would not be the blow off to their feud. Both these guys would end up doing a double stretcher job, right? Sabu selling his neck from the Super Fisherman's Buster, Van Dam selling everything from the Atomic Arabian Face Buster. That would lead us to the stretcher match at The Doctor Is In, where Sabu would win this feud once and for all. These two would end up becoming partners in the fall of '96, and would have an on-again, off-again, friendship rivalry that would see them team together and be successful as the tag team champions, but also have countless matches, throughout the coming years. But none would ever be as good as this feud was in '96, and none would ever specifically be as good as this match at Hardcore Heaven. Absolutely great match between two legends very early on, in their runs, and it's something well worth checking out. And just the fact that these guys are able to put on the match they do with a broken ring is absolutely astounding. You can watch this match, of course, on the WWE Network. You might be able to find it on Peacock. You can check it out online if you hunt hard enough. You can subscribe to my channel here on YouTube so that you don't miss a video. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Wrestling50, and please join me again tomorrow as we continue to count down Pro Wrestling's Top 50.